Alright, so part one of this week's update. So the tomatoes I transplanted are starting to get a little growth going on. I have I'm assuming a grasshopper issue because there's a couple grasshoppers in here eating some of the tomatoes. I think these are all cherry. No, that's one of the bobcats and two of the cherries. So I gotta start some more seeds. And these are all the other ones that I started last week. And I don't know what happened to this. I don't know if one of the grasshoppers crawled in and out, because I take this in and out every night when I bring it out here. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't see any leaves or anything, so it's almost like they broke off or they just didn't grow right. I've got to figure out which ones these are and figure out what to do with them. They got this little tiny dollar store seed start kit. I thought that was neat because although it's not as thick as obviously these heavy greenhouse flats that I have, I can do some smaller seeds in here so I don't have to try to fill the whole thing or feel like I've got it half empty. I also got these top hat grommets. Found them on Amazon. Obviously there's the Amazon sticker there. So the idea is to get rid of this cheap drip line with the 1/4" plugs in. Switch over to of course there's a plane going overhead. Switch over to this 3/4" PVC. Drill a hole, tap in the grommet, and then probably not this drip line. I'll have to get some probably some vinyl or poly line, and then you just stick it right in the grommet and it snugs it up and you're off to the races. So no more drippy holes. Other than that, that's just part one of the updates. Today, tomorrow, because today's Saturday, I need to drain what's going on in the flooding back here. It's not flooded too bad, but it is tilted a little bit. And then just generic update. It did rain a little bit earlier this week. It's about 95 in here right now, so plants are pretty happy. I mean, it's not 95 everywhere, but it's 90 plus in here. Starting to get a little growth out of the Swiss chard. That is not dirt, that's a little sprinkle of cinnamon. I got the grasshoppers are hanging out in here, but the cool part is that, see if I can get it to focus. That one's not a good one to tell, but these strawberries are actually rooting. There we go. Took them a little while because they weren't attached to the mother plant right. I just clipped those runners off and put them in here. So those are starting to root, so they should start to get some greener leaves. That way I can clip off those dead ones and let the plant do its thing. I also have the runners outside in dirt. A bunch of those took. A couple of them fell out, so I'll get a couple more of the strawberry plants. Probably stick them down in the end someplace. Actually, I should put them down here because the water is deeper down here, or the nutrients, not actually water. Well, it's water with nutrient in there. Slide all these down a couple, let the strawberries sit at the deep end. And things are, hopefully in the next week or so, we'll start hitting a growth spurt. You can see some of that leaf lettuce starting to creep over top of the net cups, and I think there's 3 cilantros down here. You can see the curly leaves going on. And these were lettuce, 3 Swiss chard, and most of this is all, I think this is that tropical or Tropicana lettuce. Couple cucumbers up there, and I forget what the rest is. I can't keep track of everything. So anyways, that's we'll say part one for this week, and we'll stop here. We don't want to look at the wet, cruddy ground, do we? It's February 7th, Super Bowl Sunday. It's about 1:30. I'm not gonna watch Super Bowl. Don't watch Super Bowl. Doesn't matter. Anyways, so I rotated the, I guess we'll call them planters, grow bags, because it looked like half of the radishes, we'll say like this one, this half was sprouting much better, so this half was on the other side, so I rotated all those, but as you can see, we've got radishes galore starting to do their thing. I dug up all the planters, got most of the weeds. I mean, there's a couple, I'm not worried about those. Basically took out any of the roots and the stalks of what was previously there, like the corn and the peppers and whatnot. Cleaned those all up. I took out most of the strawberry runners that I had put in the dirt about 2 weeks ago. There were a couple that actually didn't take, so I stuck them a little further in, and I haven't thinned that out yet. That's next. Just effort and desire. Potato plants that are sticking up, not doing that great. We'll see if they survive, but again, that was just to see what they did. These green onions are starting to perk up now that it's getting a little bit warmer. You gotta figure they've been there for many, many months. I'm kind of curious how tough they are, what they taste like, and I need to just chuck that. That's gonna be full of so many roots, and then get some more seeds started, because they're kind of thin in here. But anyways, but there's some there. I mean, we'll see how chewy they are. And no signs of carrots yet. Carrots take a little longer to germinate. Don't see anything yet, but within a couple days they should be poking through. Other than that, nothing special going on outside. Inside is pretty warm. It's about 65 outside. I just calibrated the crappy thermometer. That's actually correct by the infrared where it's sitting. So it's not really that hot in here. I'd say the ambient temperature is probably 85 or 90-ish. But you know, where the thermometer sits, that's what it thinks. About 100 there. And the other side, because in the shade, I think it says 90 or 95. It's actually not that hot in here. Well, I guess that's perspective, I guess, right? So I shot the infrared on the plants. The plants are about 95-ish, so yeah, the plants are warm. The white part, because it is white, is hitting about 90. And I shot the infrared thermometer down in the hydroponic solution that's in the tubes, and it's 80-ish degrees. So, you know, we'll call it 80 to 90. Other than that, because this is part 2, right? So you would have seen I already showed you the roots on the other 4, but then I scooted in the front of these couple tubes, the ones that I got from outside in the dirt. So I rinsed a little bit of the dirt off, and I scooted those down to this end of the tubes because this is a little deeper from a water perspective or a nutrient perspective. See if I can get that to focus. You can see little white roots sticking out there, so these should hopefully start taking off in a week or so, and we'll see how many of these actually survive. That's really the gist of it. If I get you to down low, you can see some of the ones down here on the other side are starting to creep up above the cups now, and we'll just see how well they do. Everything here is doing its thing. They're a little scrawny, but they're just starting to get going. They're barely getting roots out the bottom, so now that the roots are getting out the bottom, hopefully these will start taking off. Like I said, lost a bobcat and 2 cherries. These need a little bit of water in the bottom. Looks like they sucked up what I give them. Everything's doing well in here. Some things are a little slower, and some things maybe aren't doing their thing, because these 2 rows are all beans, where this one, whatever got in there and chewed it up, that popped out and grew early, and these other ones looks like they might be stuck in there, because you can see that one. But maybe they'll start poking through. We'll see. I'm still learning to use this Oasis grow medium. Those were the Brussels sprouts, so that's already, looks like it pushed one of the seeds up on top, so we'll see how well that one's going to deal. This long skinny row is all potato, and these are the various hot peppers. And then what I did, I got this little itty bitty from the Dollar Tree, and so those 4 cherry tomatoes and cucumbers, so the Diva cucumbers. So the idea is, obviously there's a couple cucumbers going on in here. Either going to transplant them or get them in these new grow down bags that I haven't bought yet, that'll take the place of the buckets. Also starting a couple cucumbers to put in the totes. And then I need to get around probably next weekend, because next weekend is 4-day weekend for me, unless I get ambitious today, is try to get a couple things in the dirt. Maybe get the green beans going, the corn. Maybe get some cucumbers started in the dirt as well. I'm trying to get things started early so they finish before it gets too hot. Other than that, that's the updates for this week.